So I know we've all heard that eyes are the windows to the soul. Well, if that's true, then brows are the drapes, and we all know that drapes can make or break the entire room. So all kidding aside, your brows are super important to your overall aesthetic, and they can make a huge difference in the way that your makeup looks. A well-done brow can be the difference between looking polished and half put together. And because your brows frame the rest of your face, they have a huge impact on your entire look. Now, it's no secret that the makeup industry has been a little brow crazy in recent years, but with so many products on the market, it can be a little daunting trying to pick the right ones and know exactly how to use them all. So today I'm going to do a basic brow tutorial on how to get Instagram-worthy brows in just a few minutes with just a little bit of practice. Brow trends do tend to change a little bit from year to year, and right now, full, fluffy brows are definitely on trend. So my first step is going to be to fluff up my natural brow hairs a little bit with a clean spoolie and some setting spray. The setting spray is going to act like a softer version of a hairspray and help keep your brows full and fluffed up while you're styling them. Brushing your brows upwards visually lifts the eye area and can give you a little bit more space to work with when doing eye looks, which I find particularly valuable because my eyes are a little bit hooded, so I'm going to take what I can get. Now I'm going to plan it out a little bit before I start applying product. I personally don't like to use brow stencils because I feel like everyone's face shape is different and things can come out looking a little wonky. I feel like it's much better to tailor your brows to your individual face shape, and it's actually easier to do than using a stencil in my opinion. I can never hold them on straight and then my brows end up crooked. So if you hold your brush right up along the side of the bridge of your nose and go up straight, that's about where you want your brows to begin. Mine naturally start about there, so I go pretty light on the brow product on the inner corner to get that soft brow fade that's really popular right now, just kind of in a more natural way. Then, if you take the tail of your brush and angle it on the side of your nose up through the center of your eye, that's where you want the highest point of your arch to land. And you can just put a little dot right here with your brow product if you need to mark it. It'll be super easy to blend that in later. Now, my brows are naturally a little on the short side. They take after their owner. So to mark where the tail of your brow should end, take your brush on the side of your nose and run it out to the outer corner of your eye. Now, where on this imaginary line you place your tail is going to determine how rounded your brows are. I like to swing my brows out a little on the wider side because it gives me a little bit more space to work with and helps my eyes to appear larger. Okay, so now that I know where I want everything to go, I'm going to take a little Anastasia Dip Brow. This is my product of choice when I'm filling my brows in because the pomade helps hold the hairs in place as I'm filling them in, and I feel like the end result is more well-groomed and lasts longer than when I use a pencil. And I use Anastasia's particularly because I really like their color variety. I've pretty much always been a fake redhead in some form or fashion, and for so long, this was the only brand that I could find a good auburn color from. Now there are a lot more options out there, but I still really love their products. So I'm going to take an angled brow brush and define the line along the bottom of my brow, angling up into the arch. I take a spoolie and distribute this product so that way the front end of my brows are filled in but not too heavy with product. Now I like to run the tail of my brow into the arch on both the top and the bottom. I do it this way because it gives me much more control over how the tail of my brow is going to look versus flicking the product outward. I have a similar theory on winged eyeliner if you want to check that out, FYI. Now I'm just going to fill everything in. Which I do a little heavier on the outside of my brow, paying particular attention to brush the natural hairs into the area where I'm placing my arch so that way the texture looks the most natural. It's kind of like a comb over, but better. Now I'm going to take a little Anastasia Brow Gel in Auburn and run it over my brows. And I actually do this for two reasons. One, it helps everything to really stay in place. And two, their brow gel has kind of a multi-tonal look, which adds a little bit more dimension to my brows since I am, after all, a fake redhead. It's all a lie. Now my brows are naturally dark brown, so I could just style them in that color and it would be fine, especially since my roots are dark right now. But I feel like the Auburn products help give a softer look to them, especially since Anastasia's products are not too red. So now I'm just going to clean them up a little bit, and this last step can really be a saving grace if you have a short attention span and you lost focus while you were styling your brows, and maybe now they're a little out of control. I use a clean spoolie to tuck any wayward hairs back into place. Then I just take a little concealer on an angled liner brush. You can actually use a regular concealer brush, but I prefer to use a liner brush because I like how precise I can get with a line. Then you just trace the outside edges along your brows, cleaning up as you go. So then I just blend it in with an actual concealer brush. That way I don't have that weird concealer brow highlight situation going on. But I do have a really clean and precise brow line. So that is it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And if this video was helpful for you, feel free to like and subscribe so that way you don't miss any of the videos coming out for you guys on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And feel free to share if you know of anyone that could use a little sunshine in their day.